Hello YouTube, welcome back to another game of Starcraft 2. This is going to be game number 3 between Canada and France. Now, the previous games are actually going to be below in the description. Of course, if you have missed those, please go and see those because you have missed out so far. So we are going to be casting game number 3. And this is going to be between HuK and Barcode. Barcode is actually Lilbow. And yeah, let's just introduce him very quickly. So the blue Protoss here is going to be Lilbow, representing both France and Millenium. Lilbow is actually a very popular player recently. He's been doing really well, and very excited to see him taking on HuK. HuK is spawning as the red Protoss, top of Dusk Towers here, and he is going to be representing both Canada and Evil Geniuses. So let's see how our builds change out here. Doesn't look like there's any difference at the moment. Both players starting off exactly the same. And our question of the series, by the way, is would you watch a stream of me casting instead of just videos on YouTube? Because I am kind of thinking of setting up a stream. Now, funny enough, it's not fully working right now. It's kind of a work in progress because I'm trying to figure out what settings to use and all that. So for the people that are on the stream right now, might experience a bit of lag, I'm not sure. And yeah, so just want to pretty much get your feedback about that, whether you want to see a streaming way of this as well. So spoilers are coming very quickly. HuK is actually on 2 right now, so he's actually won 2 of his previous games out of the 7 that we're playing so far. So of course, if a player wins 4 games in a row, then the series ends after 4. And that, unfortunately, is a very quick series. So I hope we're going to have a total of 7, because that is the best way to play as well. By the way, this is from the Nation Wars number 3, which concluded about early January. And of course, I am still catching up on those. And I do want to finish off all of the actual not campaign, but the tournament before continuing on to the next one, because of course the the Dream Hack has been played recently as well, so I will be moving straight onto that very shortly as well. So I believe this is the round of 8 that I'm finishing off, which means I'll be moving on to the round of 4 and then the grand finals after that. And of course, I hope you guys enjoy all of those videos. So let's see how we're playing out here. Let's have a quick look at the buildings tab. Now that we've stopped getting distracted, it looks like we've got an expansion already out for Lilbow, but at the same time HuK doesn't have his up yet. Instead, he has an extra gateway and an extra pylon, which is not actually a huge lot. But it does look like HuK is interested in his own expansion, which kind of means that Lilbow is going to be a little bit ahead on his economy, is already starting to produce a few extra probes for this. And interesting enough, there is actually a mothership core here as well, so that is definitely a weird one. Now, funny enough, no unit here can attack this mothership core, except for the other mothership core when it overcharges a building, a pylon that is. So definitely an interesting one. Stalker is now on the field, going to be able to ward that off quite easily. I do believe that a Stalker does a significant amount of damage towards a mothership core to force it off. Might even be able to take it on. I do need to test that out at some stage. Looks like we do have the Dark Shrine coming out now. If you saw in the previous game, he used the Dark Shrine quite nice, doing a lot of damage, managing to snipe off a hatchery with it against Stefano. Was it Stefano? I think it was Stefano. No, it was so that was the first game. So Stefano, yeah, he managed to snipe off one of the hatcheries there, which was actually really effective for him. Looks like these adepts probably going to get destroyed here. Actually, that one might get the sonic transfer completed. Does go into the natural expansion there, so that's quite good here. Managing to snipe off one probe, and that's pretty much it. Let's have a quick look at the units lost tab. Yeah, there's only a total of 2 destroyed so far, so nothing significant yet. Now it looks like a robotics facility also going down here for HuK. So HuK definitely going for a lot more tech, but at the same time he is sacrificing the economy and army supply as well at the same time. So a little bit risky to be doing that. Looks like he does have a proxy pylon here. That's just essentially to warp in reinforcements when he is thinking of attacking onto Lilbow here. Now Lilbow is actually pretty much ahead in every kind of stat that's in this game right now. He has more army supply, he has more workers. The only thing that he is a little bit lacking is the fact that he doesn't have this cheesy dark shrine, but the question is going to be, is he really going to use it, or is it just there just in case something happens? I'm kind of not feeling it. I'm thinking that he's just going to abandon it, or potentially maybe use it with the War Prism, but I'm thinking more like he's going to standardize the game. Looks like he's taken an expansion as well, so that's definitely what he wants to do to catch up. Oh, this Stalker coming in just on time is actually going to spot pretty much everything, both the Warp Prism and the expansion. So this is going to be giving Lilbow a nice bit of an advantage at the very beginning. He's seeing everything that's going on, and it looks like he's actually going for his own expansion. I mean, at this point, he probably knows that he's a little bit ahead, simply because he's had the first expansion up before, but at the same time, HuK could potentially start pulling a little bit ahead here now that he is oversaturating on his main base and main and expansion, just to basically get the extra drones over here, or probes rather. So a few people joining, I see the stream and leaving straight away. I honestly, before you leave, please let me know, are you actually joining and then the stream is too laggy? Because there is something going on. I don't know, I am not using all of my bandwidth, but it is indeed lagging when I'm testing the stream myself. So if you want to leave a comment before you leave, please, that would be very much appreciated. Let me know, is the sound laggy, is the video laggy, what is exactly going on that particularly forcing you to leave as well. Okay, so this is actually just scouting Phoenix. Now the question is, because it took so many hits to kill, is he going to think that that's actually a Phoenix, or is he going to assume that that's just a hallucination? Looks like worker supply has actually caught up here, so HuK very quickly pulling ahead. Now he's building 3 probes at the exact same time. And the army supply is still favoring Lilbow though, so it's going to be a little bit dangerous here for HuK. He's definitely going to want to keep producing building units, or not building units, the attacking units, and basically defend off against this. I think that it would be a good idea to get some disruptors out there as well, because of course disruptors can one-shot the stalkers. And this War Prism is toast. There's a few Dark Templars here getting cleaned up, but not before taking out a few probes with it. So 3-pronged attack, managing to do a bit of damage in every single one of the bases, and I have to say, this is absolutely beautifully played. Now the question is that? No, that's not his one, that's Lilbow's one. Oh, this Dark Templar doing so much damage at this point, more and more, and the huge engage going on here. There is 2 Immortals from each side attacking. There is a few, force fields are very nice here, managing to split up that army as well, getting them stuck behind yeah, that's what I thought, dude. Thanks for letting me know. I will have to fix that after the stream as well. I really have to figure out what exactly is going on. So right, let's have a quick look. I'll focus on this game for now, and I'll try to fix the lag later on, because it's very strange that it's lagging so much. Now, if any of you on YouTube, after watching this of course, on the proper quality and proper speed, let me know how the actual any tips that you have. If you ever experienced lag as well, maybe you can help me out with that. Now the huge engage going down here does look like Lilbow has a superior army. Force fields going down as well, preventing all of this around from HuK. HuK doing so well right now to hold us off, but at the same time I think that he might very well get destroyed here. Army supply is very quickly diminishing, has to pull off probes as well. That is not a good sign. Probes getting pulled off, never a good sign for any sort of player, because of course that does mean you're losing your economy very quickly. It does look like level 2 upgrades is going down for HuK, so while HuK doesn't have as many units, he does have the superior upgrades, is getting a disruptor out, so that's definitely important. It's a little bit late, but if he manages to get this disruptor out in time, he could very quickly standardize the actual economy here. Or not the economy, the army supply. Because the economy is indeed favoring HuK. He's definitely ahead on that. He just needs to hold off against this attack, because if he loses this base, this could turn south very quickly. 2 overcharges going down, not quite enough to hold off against so many stalkers. Blink Stalker Micro is going to be able to keep a few of his units alive. Is he going to use it? No. Oh, disruption. And Blink getting out of the way. Very well played here, I have to say. One thing he doesn't want to do right now is, because he has the superior army count, he does not want to over engage here. He does not want to overcommit. There's an immortal that actually got sniped off there, I believe, getting that taken out, and the army supply for Stefano, or for Lilbow, is actually starting to diminish a little bit here. At the same time, oh, what is this disruptor doing? Oh my god, getting destroyed. If that the Purification Nova actually hit, that would be absolutely massive right now, but unfortunately not getting that off. But at the same time, he is forcing Stefano, or Lilbow, off. I keep calling him Stefano because he's Barcode, and Stefano played a Barcode game before. And again, the probe's getting pulled off again. All of these stalkers taking a huge amount of damage from HuK's side, and I do believe this could very well be it. This base has now been cleaned up. The actual worker supply is starting to favor Lilbow as well. So at this point, he's not only behind on workers, he's also behind an army. Is he going to be able to snipe off this Nexus? That, of course, is going to be the huge turning tide here. Oh, the Disruptor actually managing to get a nice disruption there, or a Purification Nova, and wow, that actually evened out the army supply quite hugely. Look at that, the numbers. I think he lost about 20 supply there out of that, so that is pretty damn important. Very well played here, I have to say. Okay, and it's a very difficult moment for HuK here. I mean, he's losing one unit at a time. He needs to bring back his units and basically just reinforce them all together. And if he manages to bring a bunch of units together, oh, Purification Nova going down, not quite reaching those stalkers. That's 20 seconds of downtime for that disruptor. Not going to be able to do a huge lot with it. Okay, and yeah, there we go. GG has been called. Lilbow taking out HuK in the third game, and very well played here. Good job, Lilbow, finally taking out our Canadian HuK. And that's pretty much it for game number 3 between Canada and France. That was HuK versus Lilbow. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, Lilbow taking that victory. And we're going to move on to game number 4. Now, before we leave, of course, our question of the series is, would you watch a live stream of myself casting stuff? Of course, having the ability to interact with me and all of that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments below. See you guys in game number 4.